Hello, everyone. Out of the fire of war, life begins anew. As your captain, this dynasty springs from me and my commander. Welcome,
Yes,
Commander Cockings. How are you?
and we are unified. I'm good. We're unified to bring you an episode of
No, you're supposed to
power,
say,
strength.
behold the D7.
I was leading into that. I was doing my bit of the intro first. Jeez. But
Sorry?
behold, the new brand, so new, hasn't been built yet. Klingon D7. And the first thing that we might notice is that, Stuart,
Yes.
it looks like a D7.
This is where I'm going to jump in and say it looks like a Katinga because it's clearly a Katinga. But that's okay.
Non-edit point, but let me rephrase. It looks like a D7-ish design.
That works for me, yes.
Because do remember that Greg Jean and the team in DS9 did make the Trials and Tribulations Enhanced Detail D7 still a D7, and in Voyager we do see a D7, which is just a Katinga model or a hybrid. So there are actually several higher detail D7s technically. Just a slight clarification there. But yes, you're right. It is definitely a Katinga variant. And it's not the same. We have looked at this before, but now we've got a final version, because in the original trailer, it's a slightly different clip that's been pointed out to us. They changed the effects slightly. So now we're just going to look at this one, fresh, raw. And we've got a slight neck view. But what was your... Because this was the start of the Klingon arc in Season 2. Your thoughts, seeing it and just the feel. Because, you know, for us, pretty important. I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, so leading up to this episode, we had been speculating when we were going to see this hologram, whether it was going to be in this episode, later in the season, what's going on. But no, they start the Klingon arc, the Klingon storyline for Season 3, or Season 2, sorry, Episode 3, with, boom, a hologram right in your face as we pass by it, which was really nice. It was nice to see that, kind of like a, yeah, we are saying, here we go, we're fixing things right away.
Yep.
Behold our glorious hologram of the D7. That's not a D7. It's a Katinga. But that's okay. Nobody will notice because nobody notices these things.
But
So
like
I was
say, in the retcon of Trek, there are several new
Yes,
D7s with updated. So this is, if this is wrong, they're wrong too. So it's like,
I wouldn't consider this wrong. This is definitely a step in the proper direction.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so no more ships burying individual houses. We're going to have a unified Klingon, or probably the beginning of the Klingon Defense Force.
Mm-hmm.
All ships bearing the mark of the Klingon Empire now. Even though that was a thing 100 years ago in Enterprise, we're going to get back to that now.
Well, KDF wasn't, but a unified Klingon force was.
And ship designs like this. Yeah.
But that's the nice thing that we can. This is a symbol. And so the Klingon Empire at that Enterprise time was unified. And so designing a modernized ship of the D5 is a sign of unification. So, I mean, it's actually, we speculated this when it came out. We'd given them pointers. We said, hey, try and do this, this, and this. And that looked like exactly the direction they're going. And it's certainly appreciated. And now actually seeing this design, you can see our top view of both designs compared. And this is our custom TMP Katinga screen accurate Rob Bonshun custom version. Not the same shapes, not the same proportions. So it is very much still a 25% different sort of situation where it's different. And in fact, I was sort of comparing, but the neck is actually quite a bit different as well. While the headpiece is very similar in the shot we see, the neck is actually now segmented armor plates, which is actually, I noticed the first time around, which is pretty interesting. And you can see they've thickened up the back piece a lot. So actually it's fixing some things that I had problems with the original D7 or Katinga design. So I think it actually will be more different than we think.
But similar enough to be fine.
Oh, yeah.
Compared to what they've had.
I mean, what did we say as our number one rule for modernizing the era? Take the same basic shape. So from a distance it looks identical, but as soon as you get up close it's higher detail. That looks like what they've finally done. The Enterprise was at least similar. I made an interesting comment the other day in one of our videos saying, wow, the Enterprise is almost is basically the exact same ship as the Connie from the 60s. They did a good job. And I said, no, it's 100% different. Every single shape in the ship is different. Every single angle, every single curve, all of it. but it feels about the same, and that's the key. That's an amazing thing that John and the team did, despite its big different nacelle pylon configuration. Like, it is a completely different ship. There's no similar pieces. They're all different. This D7, I think, will be the same thing. It'll be completely different, and yet feel the same. And that's really all we wanted going in, you know?
Yeah, I mean, at first glance, it does seem very similar, but when you do put them side by side like this, the nacelle length on the new one is different. You know, the neck, you can obviously see that stepping. There's quite a few differences that in a hologram are going to be hard to see, but once they actually we see the ship, we'll be able to call those out a little bit better. But just from this image alone, you can see the differences that are prevalent. And yeah, I would say at least 25% different.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be the rule. Either legally or artistically, it's certainly what they're doing. And I mean, to be fair, the longer nacelles actually does follow the length of the neck better as a visual connection. Because the nacelles are very stubby in the D7, they just are.
And they also angle in, but they don't appear to angle in on the new one. They appear to be straight down by the looks of it.
Yeah. But it certainly looks like a valid design. I like the back, sticking out back piece more. No, it's good. And like I say, this was this was quite an expensive scene to make. You know, it wasn't exactly a cheap bit of CG. It's them saying to the audience, "Hey, look, we know you didn't like the Klingons. We know the last guys didn't really do them right, or justice, or visually right." You know, in Eagle Moss magazines, it's been since revealed that the Klingon designers of the ships, who was not John Eves, it was a different chaps, was actively told every single step of the way, don't make it look like anything Klingon before. Which is telling the designer, don't make it look Klingon, because the Klingon culture is defined by its previous designs and by its architecture, and none of the existent designs except Sarcophagus ship are that's very, very vaguely familiar. That's why all the designs feel so radically wrong. Now they've retconned it into being, oh, that's all different house ships. Although when you break that down, it doesn't quite work, because then if you look at the Battle of the Binary Star, there's duplicates. And so if they're all unique house ships, there shouldn't be duplicates, because you have all 24 houses are there. And then you know what I mean? It's a retcon, it's a welcome retcon, and obviously we're hoping that, you know, if from now on we'll see the familiar just a Discovery variant, because that's what we should be seeing, you know, end of story. And while you can enjoy the Klingon designs in Discovery Season 1, they were certainly not good Klingon designs. They're just sort of things that we see, and hopefully never seen again. I mean, step one, never show those ships again, just these.
Wow. And that would be a shame too, because they, like I've said all along, even with my Egonox reviews on them, they're very intricate. They're very Gothic-like. They're great alien spaceships, just not Klingon. So
yeah, they missed the point. They missed the point, and the aesthetic. That was the point, was to miss the point. But which is so weird. Can you imagine being told that it's on a Klingon ship, but it can't look Klingon in any way? It's like, okay. It's awful.
Yeah, here's an ink blot. Make that a ship. All right, cool. We're going to go with that. Let's go.
Yeah. Brian Fuller, man. What was he thinking? What were they thinking? But, as we've said, though, you know, we're giving them credit for something they should have already done. This is a retcon fix for a Season 1 problem. And that's why, you know, I maintain that, just like some other Star Trek Season 1s that you can sort of ignore the most as being the least quality of the show, I think we can skip Season 1 of Discovery and just jump into Season 2. Because even, you know, this episode, it does re-bring up L'Rell, her backstory, her and Tyler Vok, his legacy. All these things are fully re-explained in the season. You don't even need necessarily Season 1 at all. You know, start from here. You'll appreciate it, because you'll see, do you even see the Discovery, outside of Discovery in this episode? I don't think you do.
Sure. But I got to say, going on forward in this season, it'd be cool to see the progression of this. Like pan into Kronos, where you go past the shipyards and you see one being built. Yeah. That'd be cool. And then later in the season, the first launches of them.
Yeah.
So hopefully that's the case. Hopefully we see one by the end of the season, at least one.
Well, my professional guesstimation is that the Klingons are getting more and more intertwined with the Red Angels, because the plot can't. Theoretically, the plot's done. Like the interesting bit was Lorel, Tyler. What are they going to do on Kronos? Well, we've learned nothing. He's moved on. Like that was already wrapped up, and so just her dealing with politics is fine, but it needs an end. So my absolute assumption is that at the end you'll probably see, Discovery or the Enterprise, the heavy cruiser fixed, dealing with the Red Angel problem, and here warps out the D7 with Lorel on board with this really cool, like very familiar looking bridge design, but clearly Discovery, with those red lights, those red L cars, far more familiar, with those nice big poles that go, from the Andrew Probert design, like really like, oh, this is obviously a Klingon D7 Katinga. And it's like, wow, here we are. We see the Enterprise visual reboot and the Katinga visual reboot and the Discovery. Yeah, and that'd be great. It's like it's the first foot forward of the Klingons. This is now actually told to us their new powerhouse. Actively, the thing. What's her direct quote? The future battle cruiser of the Imperial fleet. It bears a banner. Show the galaxy. Yeah, it shows the galaxy what we are. And they don't just mean that as a it's cool and pretty. It's a hit. We're powerful. And in fact, just want to call this out while we're on the page of a ship that shows the galaxy who we are. Look at the back. That Klingon right in the middle of them. He's wearing very, very Klingon standard armor. That's like that's very, very TNG. Cool.
Yeah, good job.
Yeah, their clothing is so much better in this season. My God, it's like still not like overly Klingon, but it's just infinitely better to season 1.
Mm-hmm.
Thank God we didn't see a single season 1 armor, because that's T'Kuvma's house armor. Shouldn't be anywhere else. It's redundant.
Yeah, I never really noticed that, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to seeing this D7 show up later in the season, and like I said, little glimpses of it here and there being under construction is totally doable.
Oh yeah, just cut back to absolutely.
Yeah, and would really add to the story and the overall arc. Whether they'll do that or not, I kind of have reservations. I don't think they will, but here's hoping, guys, that we see a little bit more of this in development, and definitely by the end of the season see some flying around, because that'd be awesome.
And a fun thing to note, while I had registered that the Klingon symbol was of the default symbol, I am designing a D7 for a fan film, and I was actually going to put a house marking, just like the registry as NCC 1701 is a registry of the distinct ship, and the USS, or that way around. But you know what I mean. So I was thinking of actually putting a house marking on my D7, because like this is just more a specifically house version. The captains of this house, he's pridely. But I'm like, oh, now they mentioned in Discovery, you can't do that. So it's like, oh, damn it. Damn it. Thought it'd be kind of interesting to have like a new house insignia. Now have a secondary registry like the Federation ships do. And it's worth noting that for a long time now, the idea of what is a D7, is it the name they've given it? That's a bit weird if it is. Is it an English name? Is it a translation name? Is it a code name? Is it a class name? Because Katinga is very different to D7 in terms of framing, but in the translation, Voch is saying D7, so that is now the term, the translation for the ship. That ship. So now we know that ship is called a D7. Not, not generic battleships. That version of this ship is a D7. Done. Although I did listen in the VO, I can't tell what word is the D7 word.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't say D7, but I couldn't tell, because Klingon also has weird framing structure. Like you can probably translate it, but there's probably now a word for the D7 in Klingon, but the translation is D7. So when humans call it a D7, they mean this exact ship. So now that's now done. That's the official title of this class. At least the English translation, and you like Constitution isn't the Klingon translation of Constitution, it's our word, but they would have to translate it to something else, so it still works as a conceptual between the two languages. So just a small thing, like this is officially the D7 class, boom, that's what it's called. Just a small thing,
Yeah.
I don't think the Klingons ever said D7 on screen,
That's I don't think they did either. But anyway, looking forward to seeing more of this, as I said. I'm looking forward to seeing your comments, of course, down below, talking about what you think of this design, how you think it'll be introduced, whether this is too little too late, or if this is just perfect for what they need to do to kind of bring things in line with canon. Love to hear your thoughts and comments, as always. And please don't forget to share the video, like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification icon. Go to the Teespring store and buy some cool stuff. Check out all of our links down below. Join the Discord, join the Facebook, and if you want to help us in other ways, you can, and he's about to tell you how.
Patreon!
Dun dun dun!
You can support us there monthly, which is amazing. It just helps to create the show. You can do a one-time donation at Trekyards.com. You can join our weekly chats, multiple chats on Discovery and non-Discovery, just general fun time have with the fans, and support us there via Super Chats and just share, because sharing is caring, and learning about us might bring more people into the fold, and it's always good. Sharing
is caring. Just remember that, guys. Never thought you'd hear that on a video about Klingons. But anyway. Bye, guys.
Bye.